Welcome to the Chompcast. I'm your host. My name is Morgan Barnes from Montana. Got the rest of the crew of Sword Chomp here as well. From North Carolina, we got Joshua Fowler.
Hello.
And from the great state of Texas, we got the one and only Anthony Fisher.
Hi, everybody.
What kind of accent is that? I don't even know. AKA Fish, as we call him now. Our host Shea is not here this week. He is still getting his situation fixed in Japan. So we had to do some last minute change of plans for the podcast. So for everyone who left a lot of great feedback on the Instagram, we had a special listener show planned for today. We're just going to move that until next week so Shea can be here for that show. We miss Shea a lot. We want him to be around for that listener feedback show. But his life is crazy right now in Japan. It's a whirlwind for him. But this week we have an awesome show. We have a lot of cool games to talk about. We got some Catherine. We have Persona 5. Ironically, those games are linked. That was purely coincidental. And we got a bunch of cool topics I brought just to kind of run down today. Everything from Game of Thrones to Alien to Uncharted 4 and everything in between. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are here today, even though Shea couldn't make it. Although I was laughing, Josh, before we started recording, I was telling my girlfriend about the whole walrus thing. It's been the week of the walrus. Yeah, because I didn't know you spoke such good Japanese. We were so just like a quick story for our listeners, because Shea's not here to defend himself. We can just exaggerate the story however we like. Mm-hmm. But basically, Shea was going to be introduced to his school, that he's going to be teaching English to all these Japanese children, and the principal is about to introduce him in front of the entire school, and he was really, really nervous. So he messaged us. And what did you do, Josh?
I just gave him a few pointers, helped him remember all of his greetings and stuff like that, and may have accidentally told him to say that I am the walrus when he was introducing himself.
Is there a particular reason why? Do you have a thing with walruses, or was that just the first random fucking thing you thought of?
I just thought that there's no way he could say that and not elicit a response.
So, can you give our listeners a little taste of your Japanese? Say, I am the walrus. It sounds really beautiful.
Watashi wa... you're throwing me off here now. Watashi wa seiyuchi desu. No, sounds good. That's bad.
Yes,
I can't speak at all right now.
Pressure. We did it, Fish. We got Josh to come under the pressure.
There was hesitance in his voice.
Ice cold murderer Josh, no more.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I thought that was pretty funny. So hopefully Shea did get in front of the entire school and he told everyone that he was the walrus. And they probably thought it was some crazy American metaphor for something, I'm sure. But anyways, it's gonna be a lot of fun. One of the first things I was thinking about, I was kind of scrolling through some news ideas as we had to kind of throw this show together at the last minute, and I thought this was kind of cool because Uncharted 4, which was, as you guys know, the Chompcast game of the year last year, had been getting a lot of accolades, but it hadn't really won game of the year for a lot of the big places, the Game Awards and all that kind of stuff. But BAFTA, are you guys familiar with BAFTA at all?
That's like some sort of badass something or other, but I can't remember what.
Yeah, badass Close. I'm assuming from Fish's silence, he's like, I don't know what the fuck BAFTA is.
Badass motherfucking video game.
Okay, that works. It's actually the British Game and Family. Let me get you the exact. So basically, it's the British Game and Family awards for BAFTA. Artistic achievement in game design, narrative, and original property went to Inside. So it won a lot. But the game of the year went to BAFTA. Uncharted 4. Wait, what did I say? BAFTA?
They gave it to themselves?
Oh, I meant to say it went to BAFTA's Uncharted 4. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, the game of the year, motherfuckers. Fuck all these other games.
Well, it's funny because I was scrolling to see, I was trying to get the correct abbreviation for BAFTA because I know it's the British Artists Entertainment. I wanted to get the exact abbreviation because you guys didn't know the exact abbreviation, so I was like, why do I not know this? So as I was trying to read that, I fucked up my my lingo.
Yeah, you really shouldn't lean on us.
God damn it! That's all I need. But it's the BAFTAs are very prestigious in the industry. There's a lot of prestige there, and I'm still looking for the abbreviation, as you can tell. But I was happy to see it because Uncharted, honestly, amazing game, Uncharted 4, and I feel like, I don't know, did you guys feel like it was a little underappreciated in the award season?
Yeah, it being, the fourth installment of that series might have kept it out from a lot of people's top game of the year last year. I really feel like that game was just a shining example of using the PS4's hardware to the fullest, and they did such a great job with the game as far as voice acting and create such a compelling story that you just want to sit through the whole game in one sitting and play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I just thought that was cool. I mean, it kind of goes, in and around. You see a lot of Overwatch got a lot of love for Doom, and I mean, I know that 4. That's a good point, Fish. People see that 4 on Uncharted, and I guess that's logical. You try to give everything new its due. You can't just keep giving Uncharted awards forever. It's an established formula to some degree, so there's always going to be a little less residual returns there.
Yeah, I mean, you felt the same way too with like going from Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4, I guess, because you thought that Uncharted 3 had, really great character in Nathan Drake, and then, you get a much better game, of course, with Uncharted 4. And yeah, but it's just it's just kind of like a version upgrade of the game. So on the newest generation of consoles, but you always have that expectation kind of dimmed, I feel. At least that's a feeling I get from the gaming industry as a whole.
Yeah, well, we were lucky. We got the wool pulled from our eyes because, well, for me, I started playing these series with 3, so I wasn't burnt out. Kind of sucks for the people that were there earlier and got burnt out. It's kind of the way it goes, I guess. If you're lucky enough, like Fish, to be an Uncharted virgin, and it took a while for Nathan Drake to take your virginity, but when he did, it was worth it.
Oh, it was beautiful. There's flower petals everywhere.
Those are candles.
Of course.
Paid
Nathan
for room
Drake,
service after.
He did.
It was nice.
I was
like a
I was always
gentleman.
wondering, yeah, well, that's a good point, Josh. Like, I was wondering, what kind of a lover is Nathan Drake? Is he, kind of get you in the mood guy? Is he distracted, like, in the middle of sex? Is he thinking about his next relic? That he seems like to me like he'd be a little.
Well, that's the thing, Morgan. He's not, his mind's not there, but he's never going to let you know that. He's too much of a gentleman to let you feel
That's
like
true.
anything other than the world's most important lady right then.
But you know what? Women can tell. They can tell if you're not there, man. Could you tell Fish? Was he there with you? Were you guys one heart?
No. All I could see was his piercing gaze upon my body as he ravished me. So I was lost in him. So I didn't notice.
His dreamy Abercrombie and Fitch look. Oh man, but no, I'm happy for Uncharted 4, and I did find it. So sorry, my phone. The reason I was stumbling to find this is my phone is having issues where I got an iPhone, and all I've ever done is say nice things about the iPhone, and the fucking home button on my iPhone is fucked up now. So I had to go in they have this cool thing in the settings where you can like kind of create a home button on your phone. It basically looks like an app kind of, and so if your home button starts working, you can still use your phone. But it's a lot slower, and it's a big pain in the ass. So that's why I was struggling to kind of bounce around to these news topics, because my phone is dying, and I just want to throw it in the fucking river. But I did find that BAFTA stands for the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. So sounds nice.
They missed the opportunity there. I think they really need to make it badass something or other.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
They did. Well, it'll always mean that to us, I guess. So yeah, congrats to Uncharted 4, getting some love there over the pond. I was kind of bummed out to hear that Winds of Winter, the next Game of Thrones novel, is officially delayed. George R. Martin was talking about it because he's been so busy. He's in like these secret talks with HBO for something else too. But he was talking about how he's been busy doing so many things. Like, he loves writing, but he goes to all these conventions and he's working on the TV show, and he's such a busy man. And he already was a slow writer before. It took him 4 to 6 years to write the other Game of Thrones books that, it's officially delayed again, which means at this point, the next season of Game of Thrones drops this summer, and we don't even have a release date for the 6th Game of Thrones book out of 7. So that means this TV show is easily going to eclipse it, which hurts for me. I've come to peace with it as a fan of the books, but I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinion on it if you had one.
Well, I've never read the books, but I'm sure they're good. But I love the show, and those directors, I forget their name, something Benoff or something like that. Yeah, they do such an amazing job with that show, and there's definitely high production going on there, and you could tell, and the actors do such a superb job. Definitely love how Peter Dinklage plays the Tyrion in that show. He does a great job, but yeah, I don't really read the book, so like I don't have that feel to, hurry him along or or kind of crave something that's going to come out of his hands as far as writing goes.
Yeah. So in other words, you don't care. You don't have any sympathy for people like me because you're like, the books don't really mean anything to you, in all honesty.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure if I read them, they would probably have an inkling of something inside of me. But who can disregard the boobies on screen?
It's what you get for being an early adopter, Morgan. You have to deal with all the bugs, all the tech issues.
Yeah, that's a good point, Josh. That's what this is. He's still working out the kinks for.
Yeah.
Fuck. I think he started at 92. I read, which is just fucking crazy. Like, it's interesting. Like, I've come to peace with it because I realize that I'd rather have this than nothing at all. And there's a good chance. I mean, he's an old man. He says he's in good health, but let's be real here. He travels a lot. He's really old. Something could happen. He's like the most famous person that if he passed away, not only would I be sad that we lost a human life, which is always sad, whether they're famous or not, but he's the one that like I would be crushed the most because of my incredible fandom. But I've come to peace with it just because, he stepped into this boat when he started and allowed the TV show to begin, and he knew that there was a chance this was going to happen because TV shows move at a rate about once a year if they're successful. And the show became a phenomenon, which I don't know if he expected. So now when you walk into like a store, you can see the Game of Thrones action figures and all the cool statues and stuff. It's a phenomenon. Everyone knows who Khaleesi and all these people are, but that comes at a cost. And that cost is that the show is going to reveal all the plot twists that readers have loved for many years. So take the good with the bad,
Yeah.
But I'll just say go ahead, Fish.
Oh, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, as my biggest fandom, my biggest personal nerdom, I've come to peace with it. And I'm excited to see how it all ends, and I will still be there. I'll probably still take a day off from work to read the book when it comes out because you still get different things still happen in the book to some degree, and I just love the way he writes. So we're with you, George. Don't die. Don't die. You know what I'm saying? We need you. He gets so offended. I was reading this funny article where he talked about how offended he gets when people think that he is, because they always joke with him about dying, and he actually gets really offended by that. He's like, I'm in good health. What if I, he actually takes, like, people are just like, worried. Like, I think he takes offensively because, like, it makes him feel like people think he's, like, unhealthy,
Yeah.
You look at the guy, he doesn't look healthy, but looks can be deceiving.
It's like, we get it, George. You're healthy, but all the other old people we know are dead.
Crazy things can happen.
Yeah. Maybe don't take it so personally. Also,
I feel like that's...
eat this salad.
Nothing but salads 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
No dressing.
No dressing. Dressing is the killer. Dressing is the killer. I also was reading this, like, pretty interesting article I found from Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but something that I thought. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Josh?
It's Nate deGrasse.